Hey there, thanks so much for visiting the Kaizennovate website. And today I just want to share with you just some information around the return on investment calculator. So if you go from the homepage over to app development and you scroll down to ROI calculator, this is a tool that we created for chiropractors who want to really understand how adherence and or new patient increases can drive greater income, greater revenue into your practice. Now, there's a there's a clinical side to this, obviously, because with greater retention, greater adherence to care plans, patients get better outcomes. With greater new patients, we help more people. So there is a altruistic component, there is a clinical component to this around really doing what we do best, which is helping people. And at the same time, truly there is a business use case for increasing adherence and increasing new patients. And depending on where you are on those adherence and or new patient scales determines really which lever you want to pull. Now, when it comes to adherence, there's lots of different ways that we can measure it. But for the sake of simplicity, most chiropractic practices either know or can calculate their patient visit average, their PVA, which is essentially the total number of visits divided by the total number of new patients in a given time frame. So let's just use an example here. The total current patient visit average, let's say, is 9. We're seeing about 9 visits out of each new patient in a given care plan. And let's say we realize that for the vast majority of patients, we are actually prescribing a care plan that is probably somewhere between 12 and 18 visits based on the most recent clinical practice guidelines. So let's just put in 12 right here. That's a difference of 3. Now, let's just say on average, we get 20 new patients a month, and our target new patients per month is also an increase of 3 of 23. Again, a difference of 3. And let's just use a simple number of $100 per visit. We can see from this calculation that if we increase adherence, and again, this is an ROI calculator, if we increase adherence by 3, we have a monthly increase in revenue of $6,000, which yields $72,000 increase in revenue annually. If we increase our new patients by 3, we get an increase of $2,700 more per month, which is an annual increase of $32,400 based on $100 of revenue per visit at the current PVA of 9. Now, these numbers can be played with a wide variety of ways. Your PVA might be 30 and your new patients may be 10. And therefore, increasing your new patients will probably drive greater revenue. In fact, let's try that. Let's say your current PVA is 30 and your target PVA is 30. And your current new patients is 10. And your target new patient is, let's just say, 15. That's the difference of 5. So your revenue per visit being $100, if your adherence doesn't change because you've got a quality care plan and then your patients are moving on to wellness care, which, by the way, is supported by the scientific literature, shouldn't necessarily be directly prescribed, but with shared decision making with your patients can be agreed upon as a good utilization of their healthcare resources, their time, their money, their effort. So there's no increase in adherence because it's staying at 30. But when we increase new patients by just 5, well, we get a $15,000 increase in monthly revenue and we get a $180,000 increase in annual revenue. So depending on whether or not your practice is really good at adherence or really poor at adherence, or your practice is really good at driving more new patients or not good at driving new patients, or you need improvements in both categories, this return on investment calculator gives you the opportunity to see where you can actually drive greater revenue for your practice. What's great about the Canvas app is it does both. We've built in a gamification system where we create a rewards program for your practice that your patients can participate in. And gamification of this process of adherence actually drives not only better experiences and outcome for your patients, but also greater revenue for your practice. But what's also great about the Canvas app is we've got 2 new patient acquisition strategies within the app, both an assessment. So when somebody outside of your practice downloads the app, they can take an assessment. There's a clinical algorithm on the back end that delivers a condition or symptom appropriate set of exercises for them. We know that typically many patients need hands-on care, so they might get some relief with the exercises, but they've already downloaded your app, you've created value for them. Who are they going to call when they want that great hands-on care? They're going to call your practice. And we have, as part of the algorithm, as the flow of the patient through the app once they get their exercises, is that they can also schedule an appointment in your practice. And then we've also got a refer a friend capability built in, a tile built in, where anybody in your practice can click on the tile and refer a friend through text, email, and through social media. So Joe, who comes into your practice and wants to refer in his mom, can actually tag his mom on Facebook or on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and actually send out a mass communication to everybody in his network on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc., where now he's advertising to the world that you've got this great Canvas app. And by the way, mom, because he's tagged mom, you need to download the app. You need to make an appointment at your chiropractic office. So, we've thought of both strategies as it relates to growing your practice and growing your impact. So whether it's adherence through gamification or new patient acquisition through an assessment and a refer a friend campaign, this is a great way to drive both better adherence and more new patients into your practice, ultimately improving the healthcare of the populations that we serve and growing your practice. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help. We're here to help, and we're here to drive your practice to greater and greater levels of impact. Thanks so much.